So we got rained out pretty bad and we didn't get as far as I wanted to. I was really hoping to get the inside of this level. By the time it was done raining, we had so much mud around the barn that we couldn't keep working without making a mess with the tractor. And I didn't want to do that. It's dried up enough, I can get the tractor in and out. What I want to do first is get the inside level, because once we start building walls, I can't maneuver the tractor in, and it's a whole lot easier to do it now than by hand later. So what I'm going to do now is measure 6 feet down from the top of our header here to the bottom of the walls and run a string line, and that will be where I want to build the floor up to. I expect that that's going to take 20 or 30 buckets. My tractor is really nice. It's small, so it's nice for getting in a tight area like this, and then I can maneuver it. But the bucket's small, and so it's going to require a lot of loads. The shale's about 100 yards from here. If I can get that done by end of today, I'd be really happy, and I can start on the walls tomorrow. Right now, it looks like Tony wants to bring Juno this weekend, so that gives us 5 days, 6 days to have this ready for her, and it looks like rain the latter part of this week. So we'll see how it goes, but that's what we're pushing for. I think we can make it. Okay, I got to change the plan because by the time I took the string around, we were 12 inches, grade was 12 inches low here, and pretty bad along that side. So we've actually had so much washout and so much settle that 6 foot is no longer a good measurement. And it was a little arbitrary, so the walls aren't bearing. I'm just going to level the shale up to that point, and I'm going to build the wall right on the shale with a pressure treated plate. And given it being a barn, I'm not concerned about it. I might drive stakes in it to help keep it straight or from movement, but by the time I put the siding on, I'm not so concerned. The siding we're using is repurposed. It's the same material that we have on the gable ends, and I've got maybe 2 pallets of it. Truck World or Cap World, one of those a couple years ago, was throwing this stuff out. As they would bring caps in, they would ship them on these 1-bys, and they're full 5/4 board actually. They would ship them on these 1-bys, and when they took the cap off, they'd throw these out. So I would go by once or twice a week for about a year and pick up the scraps, and they're all about 7 feet long. Pretty sure I have enough to do the whole barn, so all that will be more free materials. So I lost track, but that was about 22 loads of shale, and I think I've got enough in here to work with. It's going to take more. We're going to have to add more out there to have this slope be more gradual. Like we did before, we didn't want this to pitch too much. I think by the end of today I can get this flat, level, and ready for framing, which hopefully will happen tomorrow. Okay, so a day later, and I lost count at 40 loads, but it had to be 50 or more. It was still 25 or 30 inside the barn. What really took so much was to get the slope in here down. That took another 15 or 20. So we brought it out, and we've already got a lot of mud and problems right here. And this is going to be a highly trafficked area, so I might even just finish off the rest of my pile of shale and bring it out around here. But we're in good shape. This evening we will bring in the lumber because we're going to have 4 or 5 days of rain. So I'm going to bring in the lumber in here that we have on hand and set up the saw so we can cut and work on here. We don't have all the lumber we need, and the unfortunate thing about living an hour from Home Depot or Lowe's or anywhere to get lumber is we don't go that often, and it's a trip in the truck. It's an expensive trip nowadays, so I'm kind of waiting till I know exactly everything I need to make that lumber run. We have enough to get started though, so that's what we'll do the next couple days. We got another off-weather weekend with snow coming in. It's not supposed to accumulate to very much, but the wind is kind of cold and brittle. But I'm getting set up for the walls. Before everything we have here is, except all the inside rafters, is all salvaged or kind of scavenged wood, pallets, shipping pallets, 6x6 left over on a project from years ago, and 2x4s from inside our house after we did some remodeling, and all this. I've got the salvage wood that we have here for the panels, the siding, a whole lot of leftover lumber here from various projects. Some of it's salvaged, some of it's just stuff we haven't used yet. Same with this pile. I'm dedicated to not going to the lumber store, and a lot of this barn wood here that was saved out of actually an old shed that was being torn down, and I'm going to see what I can use of this. Sarah just came down and kind of changed the plan up on me again. She wants a door on this side to not have to go around to the water. So this whole wall is now in question, and potentially the perimeter fence on the outside. But what I do know is this wall I can do. saving that wood for me, right?
Always. So we can build something else with it. Right?
That's my girl. We have 2 days till Juno arrives, and we've got a long work day tomorrow. Meetings and an event we're hosting for our business. So tonight was kind of the last night to get things ready before she comes Saturday morning. 2 days. So I'm trying to get the partition up down the middle. It won't be done. There'll be a door here and a door here. But if I can get it enough in place that we can put a fence across here, what we're going for is having these gates to the pasture for the cow, and on the back half we're going to section off so Pemba, our livestock guardian dog, can still use the barn, come in here into the back half, and just have the barn divided in down the middle right now, so we can keep the cow on that side and Pemba over here. We're going to go through a period here of just introducing the cow slowly to our farm, and we don't want to overwhelm her, and part of that is just having some separation of space. And this will be the first time that Pemba has seen a cow, so we just want to make sure that there's we have the ability to separate her as well. But we're in good shape. Not as far along as we wanted to, but we never are. So we'll make do. All right, so we have the middle partition up, and this is temporary, both because the time we have, but also we're not fully committed to how we want to do this, including the size of the doors. So we went with materials that we had on hand. We had a cattle panel. We had gates we built for when this was a goat barn, and a cattle panel. And this excites me more than almost anything. But that cattle panel, this gate, that cattle panel fit here exactly. And the barn is not like a 2-foot increment built. It just so happened to work out, and I that just makes me excited. So our 2 doors work. You can see the cattle panel comes right there just perfectly, and we've got it fastened over here. So this is just containment for the cow. Short term, we will build walls here, wood walls here, probably half height, and we just need to decide on where we want the doors and the size of those doors before we commit to it. And there'll likely be a partition coming down this way for the chicken brooder that's going to be over here, and we just need to think it through a little bit more. But so far right now we're ready for Juno. We're gonna she'll be here tomorrow morning. More temporary structure, but the hardware for the sliding barn doors was supposed to be here Monday, and it doesn't even look like it's shipped yet. I don't know when we're going to get it, but there'll be a sliding barn doors here, sliding this way and that way, double door. So I'm going to have to just kind of rig this up temporarily. This is where Pemba will be in and out. I'm just using some gates we had. That will be reused over on the other side eventually, and this one will go to the garden. But until then, that's what we're going to use to keep Pemba in here. And then we'll have a door that we're going to build here. What we do for hay is a local farmer here who we get for $3.50 a bale for the square bales, and it works out good for us. We'll spend, say, over 28 days, 4 weeks at $3.50 a bale. That's a little bit more than we pay for our raw milk. Our raw milk is $9 a gallon. We get 2 gallons a week for 4 weeks. So the difference there is a little more than $20 over the month. So what we're spending to feed our cow, we'll almost pay for the raw milk we get. And that doesn't factor in, obviously, the additional milk we get. We'll get not only 2 gallons a week, we might get 2 gallons or more a day. We're getting 36 bales now. We can get up to 60 on the trailer. We just don't have the place to store 60 at this time. We got work to do, sweetheart.
Yeah, but... Oh my god, Jacob, there's 3 of them and they're just the cutest. Can we bottle feed them?
Dude, we're not taking them from our mom.
Can we come trap her and take her home? What, and just, there's gonna be 3 more feral cats?
I don't know, sweetheart. I don't know. Hey guys, I see Tony coming.
Yeah, it's Juno! Oh look, there's Juno!